Good morning. I'm just waking up. Happy Easter if you celebrate that. Passover if you celebrate that. A couple days after the full moon if that's your thing. Or April Fools. Did I say that already? I'm really tired. I just wanted to do a quick video today to show taking out my embroidery floss and putting it back in. So my intention for this video is to just take out one and then put one in, and then I'll do like a speed video of taking all the rest out, and then I'll take my shower for today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna put in like a whole fresh set. But anyways, this was the very first one I ever put in. So I've always really liked the color of this one and the positioning, so I'm going to put the exact same color in the exact same spot, although I like it a little higher, it's grown out. But to take them out, handy dandy pair of scissors. This is weird to do it in video. But anyways, I make sure to keep the blade out so that I'm not hurting my hair at all. And then I basically just cut in different locations because the hair is kind of wrapped around it a little, so it's a little bit harder to untwist it all. It depends on the lock, but just separating it in spots. So it's like once you've cut it in a bunch of different areas, you can just really just slide everything out. And now it's free. Alright, so putting them back in. Sorry, I just want to make sure I put it in the same one. I really loved that one. And that one I've actually had in my hair since last September. That was the first time I ever put in embroidery floss. Usually, it seems like I go about 3 months with them in before I start noticing that they need to be taken out. But that one was my exception. Sorry, I want to make sure there's white alternating with pink. Alright, so you can usually cut a good amount. Make sure you have enough. And make sure it is folded in half. Like you have your really long length, fold in half. Put the two ends together. Oh my gosh. Two ends together and then in half. Woo. Where this loop is, that's the top of it. So pick a lock. Get the others out of the way. And where that loop is, wrap it around where you want the top to be. I usually just do one of those like half knot things where you wrap. I'm sure there's a technical name for this knot that I can't think of. It's like when you start your shoelace knot. That's it. Boop. Now I like to make it decently tight, but not too tight that it's strangling your hair. But then, depending on what you want to do, you can just start doing crisscrosses from then. I like to wrap, like keep one of them down with the lock, and then I like to wrap the other one just around that area to kind of make a thick top part. I think that's kind of fun. And then I'll cross in the front, cross in the back with both of them. You'll cross in the front there, and then take both of them and cross alternating in the back. Cross them in the front, cross them in the back, cross them in the front, cross them in the back. Now sometimes when I get about halfway through, I like to wrap one around again, just like I did up here, and then I'll continue the crossing, and that way the design is a little different, but I'm not going to do it with this one. But it's an idea. You can vary the size of the crisscrosses, you can vary what designs you're doing, but I usually just alternate between wrapping around like this. Sometimes you can do it longer, and doing the crisscrosses. Cross in the front, cross in the back. Cross front, cross back. I chose this lock at the beginning to be my first one because it actually seemed like one of my more mature locks. And I think that's why the embroidery floss has lasted 6 months on it pretty well, as opposed to the rest of them. Because the rest of them move a bit more. Alright, so I'm going to take it to about there. And then at the very end, you do the same thing. You hold one of the strings down with the lock, and then take the other string and just wrap it around. I like to give it a nice thick top, thick bottom, sometimes thick in the middle. And what I mean by thick is just that wrapping evenly around one spot. Cool. From there, take them both. I like to double knot it here, just so that it stays. Oh gosh. So we'll do that. Then that. And then for the ends, obviously I have a lot of end there. I like to do, I don't know, it depends on your taste. I like to make them almost as long as to the end of my hair, sometimes a little longer. So I'll cut them both to there. But I don't like having them both the same length. I like having one a little shorter too. So I'm just gonna, just to give it some variety. That one's too long. What about there? So yay, ta-da. My new embroidery floss in my favorite lock. So yeah, I'm going to continue taking the rest out and speed through. Happy holidays. Happy April. Can't believe it's April. Okay. I think I'm actually going to take out everything except for my beads. I have a grad school interview in 2 days, and I just kind of want everything fresh. Wish me luck. Okay, so when I talk about, like, you can tell when it's ready to get out, it means, like, what I mean by that is you can tell that your hair is starting to lock around. So with this one, for instance, you can tell that I now have hair that is clearly going over the end of that. And so it wants to, like, eat up this embroidery floss. So that's when I know, like, this needs to get cut out so that it doesn't get trapped in my hair. And, you know, that's going to depend on the lock. Sometimes I'll see it earlier than others, but where's this one? Also, like with this one, I don't know if you can see it on the video as well, but you can tell that, like, all this hair is kind of lightly coating over this. And, you know, now I'm going to be cutting it out, and whatever locking process was, like, trying to happen is probably going to be null and void there. So, you know, that's why I like to take them out every couple of months, and then I usually try to put the embroidery floss on different locks. That way the other ones can breathe and relax. But anyways, that's what I mean by, like, you can tell that it's time to move on. And for me, it's usually around 3 months. But just thought I'd share what that looks like. Some of these cloth cuffs that I have wouldn't fit right, so I actually sewed them in. I might have to cut them kind of out, which is a bummer because I like this one, but I want to start fresh. I feel like no matter what, I always miss one. Now obviously I'm keeping that one in, but every time I do this, it's like I get them all out, and then the next day I see that I missed one entirely. Doesn't matter. Putting all new ones in tomorrow. But I think I'm in the clear. And for those of you who love cameos by my cat, she was sitting next to me this whole time and literally just got up a minute ago, so let's go find her. Stardust. There you are. Hello. Say goodbye.